Good afternoon and welcome to Padre's Ponderings from the chapel.
Amen. From the chapel. Another beautiful day in the low country. Came close this past Sunday morning to putting a sweater on. Came close.
It happened fast, didn't it?
It did. Now, I don't know that it's here. But,
Right.
but
we're still going to have some heat. I can tell you that.
it came to the service over here, got here, and people coming in for the 9 o'clock service. A lot of folks had on sweaters and jackets and stuff. Yep. Checked with one of those. They said it was 59 yesterday morning. No, Frank Burr was the one that said it was 59. He had a cup of coffee on his porch early Sunday morning, 59. I like it. I like it. Get my sweaters out. Yep.
There's something about that shift in seasons.
And it's a beautiful time of year in the low country. It really is. Weather's so calm
And so many places.
pretty. Yep. And we're starting to get folks back in now who travel north.
Our snowbirds are coming
Yeah.
back when the season changes.
And we still have that's one thing that I think came out of COVID. There used to be seasons of tourists in the area, but that's just about gone now. People are down here all the time.
It's just a continual season.
All the time. See, and all the hotel people on Hilton Head and around are tickled to death because occupancy just stays up. It doesn't. And it stays up at a high level. So that's great. That's great. Love it. So we have visitors. Always have visitors, but now we got some of our other people back too.
We got a card. I think Pastor Jonathan got a card from somebody visited from Tampa on Sunday at the historic campus. We constantly are having people. I was talking to Charlie about online streaming and all of that recently. And New York is still our number 2 outside of Bluffton, Hilton Head.
New York.
New York. It's amazing. And it's a high number. It's not
Those people,
5 or 10 people.
Those people in New York are looking for escape.
It's a
If
lot.
nothing more than for an
lot.
hour or so,
It's a lot.
escape.
Yeah.
Man, that's a hard place to be now. Of course, there's a lot of hard places to be right now.
This is true. This is true.
I'm just doing a pondering. I've been pondering this morning, and in fact, I noticed there's some stuff sitting on my desk. When did you bring stuff in there?
You were deep in thought. You didn't even hear my heels walking on the floor. And I popped it down and walked out.
Pondering is not a lightweight effort. Pondering.
Well, if you do it right, it's actually engaging the brain.
That's exactly right.
Focus.
Pondering. So I knew I was pondering and thinking about what the barber said on Sunday, that the world's coming to an end, So I got to thinking about that a little bit and pondering, what would my grandparents think about what they're seeing now?
Oh, mercy.
See, so I was reflecting on that a little bit. So I'm trying to get a few lines about that.
This is for the E-News on Thursday.
I got this note that I have to ponder.
It's your turn. Tag, you're it.
Yes, I got it. So anyway, I need to get that done and get the funeral homily done for Thursday. That's coming up Thursday morning. But anyway, that idea, and one of the things that occurred to me was, the stuff that's going on overseas and all. I listen to BBC News in the morning, and they report about all over the world. There's and they don't report good news. There's this famine this way, fires here, and all that kind of stuff going on. My grandparents wouldn't have thought anything about that because they would never have known anything about that. Never would have. You've grown up in the rural South. There was no newspapers and radios and stuff like that. You were trying to survive.
Yeah, your world was very,
so
very
you
close.
didn't hear about that. The what was in your immediate world was. I mean, that was it. That was it. You did. Man, if you lived in rural South Carolina in the 1870s and 80s when they grew up, you never traveling. Nobody thought of going to Colombia or somewhere like that, or the coast. No, that'd have been if you had a mule, that's the way you'd have got there. They didn't think about that. Didn't worry about it. It was right right in their little area, and most of that was about family and
Survival.
survival. It was gut busted. So anyway, I don't think. So I was thinking about how they would respond to that, to what's going on today, and they wouldn't be able to respond to all the other stuff. They would just respond to the demise of society as that's all they could relate to. But they would have related to that. Yeah. But that's another story.
So look for Ponderings on Thursday at 3 o'clock.
Thursday at 3
See
o'clock.
what you end up processing and putting on paper for us.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Computer.
Yep.
And today's Tuesday. Tomorrow we have a teaching.
That'll be tomorrow's Wednesday.
Tomorrow's Wednesday. We have Wednesday
Jonathan
night
cranking it up.
teaching with Pastor Jonathan. His continuation of the parables that he started last spring. So that'll be good. And
7 o'clock. Historic campus, not
historic campus.
Not in here.
So it's not streamed. You said during the service here that it would be on the website the following day. We don't have that capability in the parish hall. So if you want to hear the teaching, you need to go to the teaching.
Oh, we don't record the audio in there? Mm-mm. Okay. Go to the teaching if you want to
Go to the
hear
teaching.
it. Yeah.
And there's dinner, and we're doing the dinner a little bit differently. You have to pre-register so that we can be good stewards of our finances and not have an overabundance of food or not enough food. And you pay before you go.
So
Online, it's all
All of
online.
it's online.
Mm-hmm. So if you haven't registered, you can still do that. We need to call in the numbers this afternoon.
Okay. And then I'm preaching this weekend on the historic campus. Meeting life's necessities is what I'm talking about. I don't think that's the name of the sermon.
I think
it
it
is?
might be.
Okay. So anyway, life's necessities as Paul saw them, not how we see them.
And then you've got a little tune in there that's going to stick with people after they leave.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Very familiar.
From long ago and
song
far
from
away.
Long ago.
Long ago and far away. Yep. That'll be good. You know,
Like it's stuck in my head right now. I was just putting it in the sermon slides, so it's like,
it does, doesn't it?
yes, it does.
But doesn't it make sense when you know the background of it? Yeah. So, little nugget.
Yes, I did not know that. He adds in, I don't want to give it away, but he adds in a lot of background to this particular movie and the kind of one of the big themes.
And I was Gone with the Wind. You know, starring that.
Epic.
You know, starring that.
Mm-hmm. Olivia de Havilland was one of them. Clark Gable. Vivian Lee.
Okay. Do you know who turned down the role of Rhett Butler because he did not think the movie would go anywhere?
Oh my goodness.
Gary Cooper.
Wow.
Did not think it would go anywhere. There's one of those things. Kick myself for
that. Wasn't that the first color movie?
It was.
That or the other one that year, was it, that wasn't Wizard of Oz.
No.
There were two
I think it was.
Year.
Well, the one that won the Academy Award was one of my favorites. Robert Donay. Goodbye, Mr. Chips.
Oh my gosh.
He won the Academy Award over Rhett Butler. Gone with the Wind just swept all the Academy Awards except Best Actor. Robert Donay. Goodbye, Mr. Chips. 1939.
But I haven't seen the original of that. I've seen the Peter O'Toole remake.
Yep.
Which was excellent.
Excellent. Yep.
That is one of your favorite movies.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. You know those kinds of things. There's just the book's a little teeny book. Just a little teeny book. It was in a magazine. They wrote it for a magazine. Mm-hmm. But those kinds of things that just they just are a snapshot, a snippet of real life. And I was in that world for a long time, and
right.
boys' boarding schools and all that. And so I can relate to that. But it still goes on in England, but it doesn't. The children are so different now because the homes they're coming from are so different now that I can't imagine what it would be to be a housemaster in a place like that now. But the schools still go on, steeped in history and tradition and all the rest of it. But we don't have that in this part of the country. I don't know
Hilton
that
Head
there's.
Prep is very, very much a draw for boarding now.
That relates to the tennis and golf and all that stuff they do over there. I don't
They
think
have a big population, from what I gather, someone told me, that's boarding now.
But the boarding component is not run by the school, is it? I think that's
so.
contracted with the tennis stuff. I don't know.
Oh, there's another boarding school that does that. Like their emphasis is they do academics in the morning. I think it's Heritage Academy. Academics in the morning, and then whatever their area. Tennis, golf.
Brett Toon,
those are the
that
big
goes to school with us. That goes to church with us. He does the golf part. In the afternoon, they travel all over the place. Those guys play golf year round. Mm-hmm. But anyway, Cross Schools is rolling.
Yes, it's fall break. That's why the parking lot is somewhat empty today.
Well, I
Fall
wondered
break.
what was going on.
Mm-hmm. It was the end of the semester on Thursday. So they
Take
had
a few
fall
days
break.
off, get your
Friday
sweaters
was the
cleaned.
color run,
So that was why that was, and then
they took off.
yeah.
So that's nice.
I worked on the historic campus while the color run
That
was going on.
That was smart. That was smart.
Golly day.
I heard it was great, but
I'm sure it
not
was.
your thing.
No, not my thing. See. Yep. When I became a man, I put away childish things.
Oh, I've heard that before.
Man,
I've heard
running
that.
around throwing paint at each other. That's
Yes, but you have to keep in mind these are kids.
yeah. Okay.
They can still do childish things
Well, that's right. That's right. That's right.
and raise money for the school at the same time.
Like the story that it's all right for children to dream. I was in a funeral homily last week. I did.
Adults need to dream too.
Yeah, I'm working on a dream now too.
Oh boy.
But, the dreams seem to, at least for me, as you get older, the dreams get bigger and more complex, and
Oh yeah.
so because what happens is you get older. In some cases, in mine at least, they cease to be dreams and they become visions. And you know what the difference is?
What is the difference between a dream and a vision?
A dream is an I wish statement. A vision is I will. Big difference.
So you're currently working on an I will, taking something from I wish to an I will.
Yep. And that involves strategy and all, and
Oh, sure.
time and all that kind of stuff. But above all, the difference between a vision and a dream is dreams are self-generated. Visions are God-generated. So, but that's another story too. Yeah.
Well, that
So are you
sounds
looking? Well,
exciting.
you've already got a sweater on today. I just noticed
Our
that.
office upstairs can get chilly. So I always bring a sweater. Try to always bring a sweater. I didn't bring one last week.
just leave it in
and
the
was
office?
Freezing.
No, because then it wouldn't be color coordinated, would it?
Right. That matters. That
See,
matters. Keep it black and you're set.
You can wear any color sweater you want to with it.
You
Any
can.
one, and it's fine. Your mama put a Land's End catalog on my chair last
New
week.
sweaters because your birthday's coming up, Christmas is
And-
coming up.
Wanted me to look in there, and the only color sweaters that I don't have are the ones that are for women. And I don't
Let's not.
really, and I don't know why they don't have the same colors for men and women. But they don't. They don't.
So you're set for sweaters then.
So I'm in good shape. I mean, you can't wear but one at a time.
Right. And there's only so many.
So you just go with it, I have various shades of red or crimson or that kind of stuff.
Salmon.
But, yeah, salmon. Yeah, not pink, but salmon.
Right.
I don't wear pink, no, it's salmon color. But I'm looking forward to all that.
The red comes out around Christmas. You really
And we got
hit the Purple
on the
Heart in Advent.
historic campus, we got the green color. Well, white's out right now because we got baptism this weekend. But then shortly we'll be going to purple over there because Advent's right around the corner. Getting close, a couple of months away, Advent, and then the whole deal starts over again.
Yeah, ordinary time in the church calendar is long for the green.
Green's the longest time, about half the year. That's why they call it ordinary time.
Right.
But it's, but yeah, Advent will start. That's when the church year starts. Now our fiscal year starts January 1st, and the school runs on a different one. Theirs starts June 1st, but we run it by the calendars. But yeah, time just scooting.
So we're starting to work on budget for next year, and we will be rolling out time, talent, treasure
Yep.
in November. So starting to
I've
think
got
about
that,
all of that. And
I've got that on my to-do list. That's right after this funeral homily. I'll do that next week. Yep. And it's I think the way that Elizabeth and Dave are working, and Deb Watkins, there's a whole crowd. I'm working on the funeral stuff, and I had Risa run some numbers for me for last year. How many funerals we had last year? You know how many it was?
25?
22. And that's about the scale we're going to. It's a little less than 2 a month, but 2 a month. And that's the way it's headed right now here, this year. And you have months where there's nothing. And there's no rhyme or reason, there's no predictability to it.
Right.
But there does seem to be a consistency in the numbers. And there's a consistency in baptisms too. And I don't know what that's based on. But anyway, there does seem to be a rhythm to it. And I'm talking about funerals that we have in the church. But, it used to be we had very few funerals. When people moved to this area, Rutland was so small, so you didn't have many from that. And people moved to the area. When they were getting ready to die, they went somewhere else. But no more. And the numbers of people who leave, snowbird kind of thing, that number is getting smaller and smaller too. The folks, I don't know whether they're getting braver or they're getting better air conditioners or whatever it is, but they're willing to survive August. August in the Low Country is not for the faint of heart.
It also has a lot to do with cost.
Oh yeah.
Being in 2 locations, 2 homes, all of that. Everything's gotten so pricey now.
And I was saw in the news where the gas prices are scooting all over the place, but they seem to be really steady here. I don't see them going up.
It's $7 a gallon in Los Angeles.
Really?
So my son reported that when he got back to college, and he said the good news is I only fill up about twice a semester. So I'm like, well, you look at the bright side of that. You don't drive too much.
I saw on the sign this morning $3.19. So big difference. But that everybody gets impacted differently with all the inflation or deflation or whatever it is, oil prices. Listening to BBC this morning, they're talking about what's going to happen to the oil prices, and the oil prices were up, and now they're back down again. And they said it's all about politics. It's not about the supply and demand of oil.
Right.
It's all
like
about
we've
the
always
politics.
been told. Yeah.
It's all about the politics.
Yeah. So.
But we're hanging in there. I have to get gas sometime this week, I think. I have to look at that gauge again. That's one thing. It's right there. It's right there in front of you. But you need to look at it every now and then. And I don't do a whole lot.
You don't do that. Well,
every now and
cars
then
now,
they
find. Do you want me to find a gas station for you? No, I'm good.
And so you just kind of wait till that red thing comes up
Right.
right where you can't miss it. Comes up right there by the speedometer. But life is good. Praise God. And it always has been. Always has been.
Yep. Perspective.
Yep.
All right.
So what's happening? Anything special happening with Bible studies, those are all cranking up.
Bible studies are rolling. Pastor Jonathan's Zoom one is on Tuesday nights tonight, and that's going really well. Lots of men involved in that. Yeah, things are rolling. Prayer service. Thank you, Charlie. We have a prayer service on Sunday, not Wednesday, but Sunday at the historic campus at 7 p.m. We haven't had a evening prayer and
Is it
communion
an evening prayer
service.
service? Mm-hmm. And communion.
It's kind of tricky because evening prayer is in the prayer book, but it used to be what we call healing prayer service. So there will be prayer teams there. We are having communion, and it is in the evening.
Okay. Historic campus.
Yes,
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
No supper, eat before you come.
No, we're not feeding. We're praying.
We're praying. That's pretty clear. We're not
Like
feeding,
that.
we're
Not
praying.
feeding. We're praying.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that. We haven't had one in a while. I guess late spring.
That's great.
So that's connected with pastoral care as well, with our prayer teams and Stephen Ministry and all of those pastoral care ministries. Jonathan's teaching tomorrow night. Oh, you know what's coming up? Operation Christmas Child in the e-news this week. We're going to have all of the information for you to start thinking about your boxes, to donate money to put towards a box so that you don't have to pack your own.
Are the boxes here?
The boxes are here and
May we
they're
hand them
over
out this
there.
week?
We are handing them out in the next couple of weeks. I think it's the 20, whatever that next Sunday is, 22nd.
Yep. And so then, they're
And
get
that's
back in
crazy
like
to
3
think.
weeks or 4 weeks, not long.
They have to come back before Thanksgiving
Yeah.
because the whole processing the boxes and everything takes so much time.
That's great. That's a great project. And the children are like that. But so many of our parents and grandparents and all, they're in the congregation. We use a lot of boxes. We have many.
We
Our
ordered
people
hundreds.
Our people are great about that. Just like they're great about supporting the food bank and things. It's that other-centeredness that's there for Christians. Quite a blessing.
Food Bank is going to be putting together Thanksgiving boxes for our community. So you'll start seeing on the Loop and in the e-news again this week the different items: stuffing, boxed macaroni and cheese, canned green beans, all of those different items. Pie crust, pumpkin.
So Thanksgiving, you don't cook a big meal for Thanksgiving, do you? You sit at your mama's table.
Well, this year we were supposed to be in Israel for Thanksgiving.
That's still up in the air, I'm sure.
I haven't heard from the travel company, but I would imagine that's not going to happen. But last year I ordered it from a local place, and that was fantastic. Fantastic.
Your mom.
I have done the big Thanksgiving meal in the past, numerous years.
Well, I hope the travel people will let you know soon about that. And then all your deposits, everything else, they just
I'm
hold on
trying
to
not
that.
to bother them because I have a feeling that they have
Oh.
some groups that have a more pressing need at the moment.
I bet so.
So we will hear, but definitely pray for all the people in Israel and leadership and everybody. So, all right. You want to leave us with a last parting thought? Oh, I stumped him.
The last parting thought? Oh, my goodness. Last parting thought.
See, you're stalling to come up with something.
No, I can talk to you about what I'm pondering on out there. I talk to you about my sermon coming up.
All right, give us a parting thought from your sermon. Don't spill the beans on the song and all that.
From the sermon. Well, physical, what necessities are. And one of the things that's very true is that when Paul is in prison, and as he has matured spiritually the things of this world have become less and less important to him. So you get the idea he's in prison, he's sorting things out and all that. And I think one of the themes that's there in that is that as death approaches, death brings with it a great clarity as to what is wheat and what is chaff. And that people who are looking at the specter of death see things very differently. And so here's Paul, and that's what he's waiting to be executed. He is seeing life with a clarity that most of us don't have. He has a different understanding of what necessities are. Most of us think about whims and wishes and as necessities. You know, we are letting Amazon tell us what's necessary. But when death specter comes, and that's on the horizon, you see things differently. And you have to do this great sorting out thing. So that idea, and then to go into the place of, well, what if we were begin to live in a different kind of way, as if we really accepted the reality that this day could be our last day. If we began to look at things that way, what would be wheat? What would be essential? And what would be trivial? And then I worked through what necessities, what they are, and you have physical needs that have to be met, and so I speak into that, and there are physical things that have to be met, but not everything is a necessity.
Right.
And I think many times we're all balled up on what's a necessity and what's not, and the more we have, the greater the problem that is.
And we have the constant drone of the world. Everything's a necessity, and you don't have enough.
And you don't have enough. That's right.
So
Yep.
the biblical perspective on that is completely different. So, all right.
I got you mentioned birthday coming up. It's a couple months away. That just a little thing came to my mind, a parting thought. I got a birthday card last year, and it said, great people are strange. And I looked at that thing.
That was the card.
And I looked at that thing, and I tried to figure out, is the person saying that I'm great, or is the person saying I'm strange? Sometimes you could read too much into those little things inside the car. Overthink them. Yeah, geez, great people are strange. Still don't know what all that means, and there was no explanation down there, no underlining.
Strange because you're not going with the flow of the world. You're standing out as strange, but truly great when you're not following the way of the world.
I don't know why I thought of that, but
all right.
One of those great puzzles of life.
Is Padre great or strange? To be continued.
A bit of both. A bit of both.
Well, I think
more of the latter than the former.
All right. We will see you on services this weekend, either in person or online. Don't forget the food bank, and look for Operation Christmas Child information coming out. Hard to believe it's already time for that, but what a gift and what a blessing that is for us to participate in. Don't forget, if you want to go to Wednesday night teaching tomorrow night, please register by this afternoon if you're going to be eating. If you're eating, 6:15 p.m. in the parish hall. If you're coming for the teaching, you do not need to register, and that starts at 7 on the historic campus.
Prayer service
Sunday at 7 p.m. on the historic campus.
Amen.
It's a great time to come and pray for others, but also to have prayer for yourself as needed.
Right.
So, all right, well, go in peace to love and serve the Lord.
Thanks be to God. See you when I see you. Blessings to you.